Oh, hi. My name's Joseph, and I want to show you some of the features of this Browning Bighorn tent. And I want to cover some of the things that's not covered in the other things I see on the internet. Um, so my friend Patrick is going to help me out. He's going to take some pictures. Hi, Patrick.
Hi.
So first I want to show you how tall the tent is. I'm standing here with my arm outstretched up in the middle. I'm 5 feet 8, 9 inches tall, and I barely reach this zipper up here. So that's how tall the tent is with a person standing inside. Now I'm going to move over here to the corner so you can see the height in the corners. So as you can see, I'm 5'8", and I can stand here almost exactly in the corner, and I just barely hit the top of the side of the tent. So this is a very, very roomy tent. And with the straight wall construction, you get to use almost everything inside the tent. All right, one concern people had about the tent was there are no tiebacks on the windows. So as you can see, there's no tieback here. But if you fold the window fabric, such as over here, if you fold the window fabric in on the zipper, it holds itself. And if you do all the way down and roll it in, it forms a little pouch at the bottom like this. So you really don't need a tie, and that was a concern that people had, that there are no ties. One thing I want to show you over here are the pockets in the center divider. As you can see, if you open the divider and you pull it back with the tie backs, you really can't use these, okay? So I'm going to undo this. Here's the tie back right here, and I'm going to undo this so you can see what this looks like down. So we do have these three nice little pockets here, and if you're just going to have this down and fill them up with goodies, it doesn't make any difference. But if you're going to be using them, as I do on this side, as you can see, if you're going to be using the tie back, basically only the top pocket will allow you to do anything. Because back here, I have to have super tiny little teeny stuff in order to do the tie back. And even then, the tie back is difficult. So, okay, this is all I have. So basically, you get one of these. All right, now we're going to go on this side, and we're going to pull down the center divider. So you can divide the tent in half, and there's a nice little hook up here for a lantern to hang, except of course I can't reach that high. So you're either going to have a partner who's a little taller than this, or you're going to need a step stool or something, but there's a nice hook here and one on the other side to hang a lantern. The divider does not go through to the bottom. Okay, so, you know, it's privacy basically for so people cannot see you dressing and undressing, but there's really no other function for the divider. So we're going to open this back up. And one concern people had about the tent was the zippers, so we're going to go through that. And we're going to roll these back. And that's that. This is stacked up over here, but this is a queen size inflatable air mattress. And that's how much room you have in the tent. Okay. There's no seam netting here. This is very nice. The whole top of the tent is ventilated. The fly, as you can see, stays up off the tent so that all the way around, so that there's some ventilation. The corners have these nice extra seals in them. Very well made. The floor, I bought an extra foot pad to go under the floor. The floor is pretty nice. Okay, now we're going to go through and I'll show you about the zippers, because people had problems with the zippers, and I found the zippers kind of problematic myself. Okay, the thing you have to understand, there's a couple things you have to know. One is that the tent is made with this extra fabric around the zipper to keep the rain out, and it goes all the way down here. So you have this extra flap to keep the water out of the zipper, and this is what causes people problems, this extra flappiness. So when I do this zipper, this is the door, this is the most problematic, of course, and so when I do the door, I hold both pulls on the inside and do the zipper. See, like this, I have them both pulled to the inside, and this is how I do the zipper. And you do this carefully. Now see right here, see how this is all bunching in? Okay, this gets caught in the zipper, and people don't like this, so you have to be careful. But this is the flap, that stays outside, and you hold both of these all the way down. Now you get down here, and there's this triangular piece, and at this point, I just pull down the inside zipper, and it closes. Okay? Now, if you have kids running around doing these zippers, there's going to be problems, because you have to be careful with them. And that's because of all this extra fabric that's there to prevent the rain from coming in. So you just have to be careful. All right, see, here is the window on the door, and every time I open and close the door, this falls out. So this is actually the only real problem with the window fabric that I see, is that every time I open and close the door, this comes out. But this is what you do. And there you have it. And that will stay like that unless somebody disturbs it. Okay. So now I'm going to redo the zipper. And again, I'm just pulling the inside string until I get it up out of that area, and then I use both strings. And here I'm going to have to pull this down a little, and it opens up. So now we're going to come outside, and I'll show you again the door. See the extra fabric coming around, and it's all up in here. So I'm holding both strings on the outside, and I'm kind of using my finger to push this out of the way like this. And then, as you can see, the zipper comes straight down until it gets there. And here's the problem. See, again, it's this little thing. And so people get here, you just have to be careful. Pull both the strings to the outside, and you'll go all the way down and miss that thing. And this is what your tent looks like, see? And so that extra fabric really is there to help you keep the water out. The one thing you really need to know, absolutely critical, are these pieces here. This side and this side are not the same size, and these two are not the same size. So you have to make sure there's a little dot right here. It's hard to see. It's like an indentation. It's not like painted on in white. You might want to mark your own so it's easier to see. But this has to go up and this has to go down, and there's a little dot right here, a little impression. I can feel it if I rub my finger on it. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. You can feel if you rub your finger on it. And that goes to the top. The dot to the top, no dot to the bottom. Okay? And that'll help you from doing what happened to us is we set up all these legs. We set up all the tent except for these legs, and then we wanted to put these in. We couldn't because these were in the wrong way. This will go in this side, but this will not go in that side. Okay? So if you take care of that, it makes it really easy. I do not recommend anybody having less than 2 people to set up the tent. You can go online and people say, oh, I set it up by myself. I guess you can do it, but if you're in any wind at all, once you have one of these legs up, the tent starts blowing around, it's not secured. I just don't recommend it. And I got help. Okay? I think that's all I really wanted to cover in this video. Some of the concerns people had, the zippers, no tie backs, the doors. Could they stand up inside the tent? Were there pouches or containers? And I think I pretty much covered that. I really like this tent a lot. It's very large. It weighs about 35 pounds. It comes in a nice carrying sack. We're car camping, you know, we're no more than 100 yards from the car. So it's really, really nice. Thank you, and thank you, Patrick.